talking to parents. And that is going to be something different because I feel like not too many people talk about it or want to talk about it. It's an like we talked about, like having a talk with your coach last week. This is just an uncomfortable conversation, but I think parents will be able to find it so important and so meaningful to them if they have something that they can go off of.
Yeah.
So that's why I thought it was important to do this podcast or this little episode of the series, and why you agreed with me and we kind of talked about it. But anyway, so I'm going to get into my 3 keys for parents about playing time. All right. So number 1 on the first key is when you're talking to we're talking to parents is, and I'm not trying to sound harshly. It's going to sound a little harsh at first, and it's going to get to more, what can I do? But this is just from experience. 1 is you are not helping when you're going to talk to your coach for your kid about playing time. You are not helping. When you go to a coach and complain about playing time, you are basically telling the coach, you don't know what you're talking about. So Asa, I'm going to put myself in a parent's shoes right now. I do not have a son, but I'm going to act as if I do. Okay. So imagine me as a basketball coach. I was upset that my son did not get a raise in his accounting firm.
Yeah.
Okay. Or a promotion. Let's say a promotion, just for the sake of it. What would I naturally do? I would become upset. I'm just thinking, as if I was a parent, I would become upset because I love my kid to death, right?
Yeah.
I love my kid to death, and I would do anything for him. And I think he could do anything. I mean, I think that's, as a parent, you believe your kid can do anything his heart or her heart desires to do, they can do. But for this instance, I'm going to say my son. So I decide that I'm going to talk to his boss about this promotion. And I say to this boss, listen, I do my own taxes. I do my own budget. I know about money. I know how this whole accounting thing works. My son should have gotten that promotion. You must not have known that he was top 10 in his class in the accounting program at ABCD University.
Yeah.
I mean, we have those conversations so much as coaches. These parents are telling us that this coach that works with our son or daughter every single day does not understand what their value is. Like, listen. Go ahead.
It's crazy when you put it like that. I mean, I'll be honest. I got fired from my first job out of college, and if my parents would have gone and talked to the people that fired me, I would be incredibly upset that they tried to do that. But it would look super weird. Why would they? You don't do that. It just when you put it the way you put it, it puts it into perspective for parents, I think.
Yeah, and that actually kind of leads into number 2. And once again, it's a little harsh at first. What I'm trying to say is you are enabling your child. And I'm not saying, because I think what this could come off as is I'm coming at parents and that they are just hurting their child, when really they're like, as a parent's perspective, is you were trying to help your child. You want your child to be as successful as possible. But in turn, by going and trying to talk to this coach for your child, you are enabling them. Because you're basically saying it is okay for your kid. I mean, it is 100% okay for your kid to want more playing time.
Yeah.
I want my kid, whenever I have a child, to want to be as successful as possible in every single thing they do. So for them to want more playing time, 120%, they should definitely want more playing time.
Yeah.
If that's what they want to do. But you need to be able to allow your kid to grow and help them understand that, 1, you are going to have tough conversations, which we talked about last week.
Yeah.
And those tough conversations are going to be with coaches. You're going to have to be able to go and talk to coaches. And if they don't give you the correct answer or the right answer that you want to hear, you're going to be able to have to live with that. And that kind of leads into my second part of enabling is you are not going to get everything that you want in this life.
Right.
Whether it is basketball, whatever it's your job, if it's a girl, boy, whatever you want. I'm talking from a girl, or I digress. but you're not going to get everything that you you're not going to get everything you believe you deserve, even though you might have worked for it. You might have
Yeah.
worked for it. So one, and I think it's too common right now in the game of basketball or even our society, is that at that point we just make excuses.
Yeah.
Well, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. DMGB. It doesn't matter. Get better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead and improve. Go ahead and improve. Use this as a learning opportunity to go ahead and improve yourself. So parents, instead of enabling them, which leads me into my third point, empower them. Empower your kids. I mean, it is such a huge part of what some kids are lacking is trying to dictate every single move of their life instead of empowering them and allowing them to make the best decisions possible. And that's just the way you raise them.
Mm-hmm.
So one, you can turn these obstacles into teachable moments. I think you and me can both speak on it, is that we have experienced failure. We've
Right.
experienced times of success and we've
No doubt.
experienced failure. And during those failures, we can either sulk on it or we can make the most of the opportunity. So I'm just talking about a real life moment here. If you don't get a job, what should you do? Should you be like, that boss didn't know what he was talking about, or I didn't get a promotion, that guy chose that guy because he just likes him better?
Mm-hmm.
But what can you do, Ace? In my opinion, you should work so hard that your next boss or that current boss has no choice but to choose you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, go ahead.
Yeah. I was just going to say, my dad always told me, don't give every reason for your coach to keep you out on the floor.
100%.
Don't leave any doubt in your coach's mind. Give him every single reason possible to where he has to have you on the floor.
And bang, that's a coach. I mean, that's a parent's perspective right there. And that's what a parent should be saying. Because if you were not playing and your dad looked at you dead in the eyes and said, give them every single reason that you can't, I guarantee you went and worked your butt off and were like, I'm going to give them every single reason, because it's your own dad that told you that.
Yeah. Yeah. And kind of back to your second point, like if Coach King always would say in high school, like if a parent would come up to him, oh, my son should play more or need more playing time. It's okay. Well, based on what? Like, is he better than so-and-so? No, he's not better than so-and-so. Well, can he shoot it better than this guy? No, he really can't. Well, is he in the gym after practice getting up extra shot? No, he's not. Is he coming in the morning and getting up extra shots? Nah. Is he going hard in the weight room? Nah, he's not really doing that either. So as a parent, you at least have to know that your kid is doing the most in their power. First of all, don't have that conversation, but you can't just blindly go into a coach and just be like, well, my son deserves, my child deserves more playing time.
Correct. And that goes off my number one, Ace, is when I said basically, like, you're not helping because you are trying to do the job for the coach that has been there every single day. And that's what you just said. Like, these coaches are with them every single day. They know who has put in the extra work. They know who has not. They know who can help the team rather than who can just score or who can just rebound, because it's a team game at the end of the day.
Yeah, certainly.
We could have three people that can score, then that's all they can do.
Yep.
So which one are you going to choose to be on the floor?
Yep. Yeah.
Probably not the third scorer that can't do anything else, or maybe not the first scorer that can do everything. You're going to find him minutes, but he might not be playing as much as the second scorer that can score, rebound, pass, play defense, like that can do it all, and that helps your team win. So I think too often as parents, I think that they can get in the perspective of, my kid is so good, and there's times they really can be. They can be. Like, your kid might be really good. He might just not be fitting in the system. And that's what goes into number two, is you are enabling. Let your kid have the opportunity to go talk. Let them grow in that. But
you gotta be realistic with your expectations of your kid. Like, I mean, I remember when I was playing AAU going into my senior year, my AAU coach asked my dad. I wasn't around for this conversation, but my dad told me, and it was like, where do you every parent thinks their kid is going to Kentucky, Duke, North Carolina, UC, the Blue Bloods. Every parent thinks their kid's going there. And props to my dad. The coach asked him, well, what level do you think your son can play at? And he was like, I think he can probably play at a Belmont or a Lipscomb or a mid-major, something like that, at that level. So what I'm saying that, at least my dad, he didn't have unrealistic expectations for me.
Yes.
which is a huge thing, because if you're constantly telling your kid, oh, hey, you got to go to Kentucky, you got to go to Duke, you got to go to the highest level possible, you're going to set them up for failure, because most kids don't get the opportunity to go to a level, to go to that level, right? So all you're doing is just feeding them this garbage that's going to fill their head with nonsense and unrealistic expectations.
I completely agree with you. And I hope that more parents listening to this can have the opportunity to take a step back and evaluate, not as my own son, but as a player in general.
Yeah.
Because as a parent, we're called to love. We're like, you're called to love, you're called to raise your kid and hope and believe in them more than that they can possibly do, believe in them even more, but also be realistic in what they're able to do. So I completely agree with what your dad did, but this is like my third, it's still an empower, and it's let your kid know that character wins. And this still goes back into our last week's segment about playing time for players. And it's, if the conversation, let's say I went in and have the conversation with a coach and it did not go the way I wanted. He said, this is what you have to do. And I took it like, whoa, that's not what I thought I was going to hear. Right. Well, there's three parts of this. And it's one, you need to be able to take criticism. We talked about that last week, be able to take criticism. And what I mean by that is learn, just be able to learn what you can do better, because once you can learn what you can do better, you can start acting on that. Two is respond with humility. That might be the most important. You have to be able to take criticism and then respond with humility, understanding that you do not have all the answers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like if you respond understanding that you do not have all the answers, you're going to be able to learn and improve in things that you did not know that were even out there.
What's the saying? Like, in order to fix a problem, you have to acknowledge the problem first.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
right? I can put it, that's kind of simple way. Yeah.
Yes. You have to be able to fix a problem. Yeah. You must acknowledge the problem. 100%. 100%. And then my third one, which is, I mean, I said respond with humility might be the most important, but third one goes for anything in life, and it's love others. Gosh, you have to be able to love others, because I think we both speak in the times of when things were not easy for us, and we talked about that on the last podcast, but when it doesn't go your way, you still need to be able to love the coaches and love your teammates that are playing below you or even above you. And I think it's even harder. Love them even more.
Yeah.
Love them even more. And I know this is talking to parents right now, but encouraging your kids, listen, it's not going the way you want to. Character wins, love others.
Yeah, I believe you're right. I believe 100%. You said it's not going the way you want to. Nothing ever goes according to plan.
Nothing.
I mean, I'm a firm believer that nothing ever goes according to plan.
Really, though.
You know, I had plans of college basketball that didn't work out. Had a job that was planned that did. You know, I mean, but that's okay. Like, change is good. It's fun. It's a growing experience. You have to be able to take something from everything you experience. There's always a lesson in it.
100%.
You know, the great modern day poet Jay-Z said, you know, appreciate the loss. It's a lesson. So,
yes. But those were my three keys for today. To just retract, we talked about you were not helping as parents if you were basically, and which goes into number 2, you were enabling. And 3, what you can do is empower your kids to be the best teammates, players, and friend possible. So those are my 3 keys for today, Asa.
Yeah.
If you found this information to be valuable, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more content. We also welcome questions and comments. So if there's a question or topic you would like us to discuss, make sure to let us know in the comments so we can continue to help you guys.